JavaScript doesn't have a global string formatting function, so we're going to implement it in the next example. Now there's a couple of ways to implement this, and the way we're going to do it is by having markers which are going to look like in this test we're going to first write. So console.log format string of some string. So I'm going to say this is a, and this is going to be one of our markers. And we see that our markers are going to be positional, right? So it's an index in some array. And this is our second format specifier. And the actual values we want to replace within the string are going to be the next parameters received by format string. So let's say nice and modified. Now notice that this is actually a variadic function in the sense that I can give it no matter how many parameters. And if their index is found within the string, they're going to be replaced. Otherwise, they're not going to be replaced. Additionally, something like this is also going to be valid, in which some indexes are missing. Now we could elect to implement this function either as an arrow function or as a function. We're going to go with an arrow function for this example. And its prototype is going to look like this. So I'm going to say its definition is going to look like this. And since we've elected to represent our parameters like this, we could consider that the parameters, except for the first one, are a spread out array with the spread operator. And this is going to allow us to iterate through format and to treat it as an array. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to copy our string to modified. And then we're going to iterate for the format. So we're going to say let I equals 0, I less than format.length, I plus plus. And we have to use a traditional for because we're going to need the I. So we need the position within the format. And the first thing we have to do is to actually check if a particular marker is present within the string. So we can use index of, which brings us back to the fact that strings are actually behaves actually somewhat like arrays in JavaScript, in the sense that I can use some of the array methods on strings. And what we're going to look for is our format specifier. So if modify.index of format specifier is not equal to -1, because we would actually get -1 if we didn't find it, then modified is going to become modified.replace, and we're going to replace our marker with format of I. And at the end, we're going to return modified. And all that's left is to test our example, which is working.